Hey everyone, welcome to your March monthlies, and each month we've been focusing on a different chakra. January was the root chakra, February was the sacral chakra, this month will be the solar plexus chakra. That's all the yellow, that is the color of the yellow chakra, the solar plexus chakra. The root chakra has to do with how we kind of relate to groups or the world. The sacral chakra was how we related to another individual. And the solar plexus chakra is more how we relate to ourselves. So the theme of this reading for this month, we're going to look at how can I honor myself more. So we're going to dive into a reading for each zodiac sign, and we're going to jump into your sign right now. All right, all my Geminis, this is your March monthly reading, and we're going to start off by pulling a card from this You Are Awesome deck. Let's dig into how you can honor yourself more. All right, so for our Geminis, what would you like them to know about their month of March? Okay, they want that one right there. Love this little card. These are a hilarious deck. It says, I may have the same fur as you, but we are all special inside. Sometimes sweet, sometimes tangy, always awesome, because you can see a little furry bird and a kiwi. So this is definitely about finding this awareness of your individual awesomeness and celebrating your individual uniqueness, for sure. And that is definitely, honoring yourself, understanding that that comparison between you and something else is almost like comparing a little furry bird to a fruit or a vegetable, right? It's like, no, you're so different. Comparing yourself and your life to someone else's isn't fair to you, and it isn't fair to anyone else, right? So it's about finding this uniqueness and focusing on you and not comparing yourself to others. Also, in my monthlies, what I do is I take a tarot deck and I split out the major arcana from the four suits of the minor arcana. This month I'm using the Sun and Moon Tarot, and what the major arcana represents is like this card here, where it's about the monthly general energies or the general message. And then we'll get into the minor arcana here in a moment, and I'll let you know what that's all about when we get to there. So for our Geminis, what else would you like them to know about their... That's funny. It's like they don't even let me finish, or like, boom, and here you go. You've got the universe, it says here, which is the world card and the standard tarot. And this is all about major endings of a cycle, of a huge cycle in your life, and a new beginning. So this makes total sense. And this old way of looking at yourself, of comparing yourself to everyone else, to kind of, I just feel like dissing yourself and judging yourself so harshly for not being who everyone else has been telling you you should be, or what you think you should be, and all these roles about your existence that you've taken on since you were an early young child, but that have been reinforced over and over. And you have been building up to this point because you're kind of tired of feeling that way. You're tired of all that negative self-talk that's been talking to you. So we will dive in more here. I am going to pull for each of the four suits also a card here from the Dark Tarot. And this is going to represent what your shadow side, your subconscious world, what it wants you to know about each of these as well. So let me give this one more shuffle. All right, so for each of the four suits, what would you like them to know, please? Okay, nope, they said none of those. Okay, so they want the four cards that are related here. And they said not those two, so just those four. So put those right there. And then we're going to dive in to the four suits. And the four suits are going to represent four different sides of your human existence. We're starting with the Wands suit, which is fire energy. It represents your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, your passion, and also your spiritual energy or your energies that are going on in your life. So this is going to be what the Creator wants you to know about your spiritual adventure during the month of March regarding honoring yourself more. Just one more little shuffle there. Here we go. And then so for our Geminis, what do you want them to know, please? Okay, they want that one right there. And you have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, this is totally makes sense, because with this ending here, you've got the number 1 wand, which is like new passion, new energy coming in, new drive, new just overall energies happening in your life. So yeah, definitely with looking at this from a different point of view and not comparing yourself to others, really embracing this uniqueness that you have to bring is igniting this new fire within you. Instead of you waking up during the day, in the morning going, I gotta go live the dream that people told me is supposed to be my dream. Well, that's not your dream then. If you don't have that passion, this fire when you wake up in the morning, even waking up early and going, instead of hitting the snooze button, you're like, oh my gosh, and you get out of bed because you're so excited about your day, that's when your passion comes in. So let's see what else your shadow wanted you to know about this too. Yeah, and you got the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is about seeing things from a higher perspective. The kind of mythology behind the Hanged Man, it was like Odin, which was like the father of the gods back in the mythology days. He actually chose to hang himself upside down from the tree of knowledge, the tree of life, and actually even sacrificed one of his eyeballs, his physical eyeballs, so that he could have spiritual insight into all of the unknown. So you see this little bright light here, and you can see someone hanging upside down from that branch there. This is you wanting this deeper understanding and to see things from that higher perspective. So seeing yourself from like the eye in the sky, from the heavenly viewpoint, from the spiritual side, is what allows you to see just how powerful you are, that you're so much more, you are so much more than this human character that you're playing here. You're the actor behind that character, the powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And so as you connect to that, you do have this new fire, because all that energy you were investing in living that other supposed to dream, it was just kind of going into a black hole. And when you bring all that back to focus really on what your true passion is, how you uniquely want to share your unconditional love with the world, all that energy returns back to you instead of out there trying to please and trying to meet all those expectations out there. So you have this like big, just looks like putting gasoline on a fire. You just have this big flame that is burning inside you. I'm also going to pull a card here from the Return of Spirit deck and to see what else the Creator wants you to know about this spiritual adventure. So what else for our Geminis, please? Okay, that one right there. And I'm going to just move these down here. And we are going to look at this one, and you've got Right. And I love this card because it really talks about, and I don't even need to read the book on this one. They want me just to go off of what they have told me about this card, which is writers write, dancers dance, whatever your passion is, this is telling you to do it. And when we focus on the success, we focus on the external definition of what everyone says. Someone might say, well, if you're going to be a writer, you have to be a successful one, which means you have to be on New York bestsellers list, and you have to be published, and everyone has to do this, and this is how it has to unfold and do what it want to do. Same thing with dancing or artist work or, whatever your dream may be and how to share your gift with the world. You get to define it, and this is all about writers write, dancers dance. Do what you love and follow your passion, and don't worry about all this outward description, outward definition of what success would mean. If you love to write and you get to write every day, even if it's for 30 minutes during your lunch or 30 minutes, before you go to bed or in the morning or sometime during the day, then you are living your passion. Our human side gets so much into the, what does it mean? How is that supposed to be successful? Blah, 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 right? And so this is all about be true to your passion and live it. And then you are living your dream. You're not existing anymore. Even if you have to have a part-time job or a full-time job to be able to do what you love, you don't care. You change from living to work to working to live, right? So I love that. And then we're going to move into the Pentacle suit, which is earth energy. And this is all about the outside world. So where this is your spirit, and we're going to talk about your mind and your emotion. Those are all internal. This is about the external world out here, including your physical body. So all those characters on stage with you in this mighty play that we're in, all your possessions and jobs and everything else on the outside. So what would you like our Geminis to know about their physical adventure during March, please? Okay, there we go. Yep. This totally makes sense here. So you have the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles, look at it like you've been an apprentice doing things in your life all the way up to this point. And think of like a blacksmith is what comes to mind with this card for me. Because like a blacksmith, they study under a master and they fine-tune their skills and they're developing it, but they're usually following what the master has taught them. And they learn the skill and they learn all this trade and they create things that look like their master. But Eight of Pentacles is about going to the next level. It's about expanding and stepping up into master level. So that's like you've been studying under a master for, a decade, and now you're leaving that master and going to another town and you're becoming the blacksmith for that town, but you're creating things that are unique to you. And I also love that this is all hearts that are flowing and growing on this beautiful plant here, because this shows you sharing this love from within you, that gift that you have with the world. So that is perfect here. And then your shadow talks about the Knight of Swords. Now swords, which we're about to talk about next, is your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And the Knight shows movement of your expectations, movement of your thoughts and your beliefs, which is so great because with what we were talking about here, about looking at yourself as unique and not that you're the same and have to fit in with all those other, a bird trying to be a kiwi, it's like you get to change these thoughts. These thoughts move. You have these messages come in too, because swords, in addition to being all your mental stuff, is also messages coming in, communication coming in. So you will be getting communication during the month of March, opportunities coming in. At least you're going to be getting information about living your dream. So keep your eyes peeled, your ears peeled, stay aware and open to seeing that you can move to this new level. You can move to this new level in expressing yourself. And it could be you're in a job right now and you're going to move to another level in it. Could be relationships too. If the relationship is what you have been judging yourself by, you might move into a different area of your relationship. Like this can mean leaving a job, leaving a relationship, leaving education, leaving your home. It could be going to just a different level in the outside world in a different way. So it's either leaving it completely or moving to a new level within it. So I love that for you. And then we're going to pull a card here from the Spirit Junkie deck to see what else the Creator wants you to know about your external adventure. And one more time. All right, so what else for our Gemini's physical adventure? Okay, they actually wanted to give you two, so we will obey. Okay, so we'll do this one first since it flipped over. And this says, kindness is a gift I bestow upon the world. And this is so great because when you really just get rid of, even though kindness is, when you get rid of all that, and it just says, a gift I bestow upon the world. So that is the message we were just talking about here. So I'm going to put that right here. Still in view. And then the other one, I love this. My high vibe thoughts create health in my body, peace in my mind, and love in my heart. So the swords is also about your thoughts and your beliefs. So when you're focusing and changing your thoughts and the vibration, whatever you focus on is what grows. And so when we're focusing on before, on those shadowy, dark, negative self-talk we talked about earlier, that's what grows in your life. Because you tell you something often enough, you believe it. This is about growing your health, your peace, and your love by changing what you're focusing on in your thought world, which is what we're about to go into next. So good segue. Good spirit is good at that. So we're moving into the swords suit, which is air energy. And like I mentioned, that's your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, expectations, all your mental adventure. So this would be what the creator wants you to know about your mental adventure. And this is your energy, Gemini, your air, you're an air sign. So, there we go. Flying out here. And you've got the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords sometimes represents like thievery and deceit and a warning for you in your life. But for your reading, this represents an awareness that comes to you on how your thoughts have been deceiving you instead. And so, you can see how they're sitting on a cloud and just feeling so disappointed and down. And that's because when you, like we were talking about, when you say something often enough, you just believe it yourself. And you have this futility, is what it says at the top here, which it felt like everything that you've done in the past, most of it has left you feeling empty, right? All those trying to fulfill those dreams, all those supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts has just drained you and exhausted you. You just feel like I just can't get ahead. Whenever I get something, it just doesn't seem like enough and I feel like I need more. Well, this is because you've been living someone else's dream and not your own. And those thoughts and those beliefs about yourself is what's been keeping you restricted and keeping you trapped. Let's see what your subconscious and your shadow have to say to you too here. Yep. So you got the Tower, which is a great message here because they want you to know with this Tower card that everything has happened on purpose for a purpose. So you did come here to experience all the shadowy side of life. You wanted to experience conditional love and disappointment and sadness and all of these things because in experiencing what we're not, we more fully understand who we are. The message of the Tower kind of starts off with the Wheel of Fortune, which talks about you as this higher spiritual being. Before you came down here, you selected your path. You selected this human character that you're playing, this avatar. You chose when you're going to come and arrive in this planet and when you're leaving this lifetime. And also all these fated events you wanted to experience in between those, they call it the dash, right? Between birth and death, all these fated events that you wanted to experience. But the Wheel of Fortune also tells you that, it's not just fated and you just have to go along with it. That within each of these fated events that are happening, that you get to choose what story you apply to any of those fated events. You get to choose what emotion you're going to feel around any of those fated events. So you transform from feeling like your life is out of control and that life is happening to you, to moving from this drama train that's about to jump the tracks to where you see life is happening for you, where you are a victor, and that you're more of a monorail train or some sort of futuristic train that is attached to the tracks and can't fly off and explode dramatically or anything like that. So it's this movement and this change from victim to victor, from where life happens to you to where life happens for you. And then the tower comes in, because the tower is one of these fated events that's been happening. And whether it's a relationship of some kind, whether it's romantic, friends, family, work, whatever, or a situation of some kind, whether it's work or education or some sort of situation that you're in, or if it's something physically like your body or your possessions or your bank account, something's been in your life on purpose, for a purpose, but for you to have these other fated events come in, this thing needs to be removed. So you will, this message here for you is that there's things that have been removed out of your life that have been for you, that you had a different story around them. You were deceiving yourself around the story that you were applying, but you can change that story now. And so this is just them telling you this. And this kind of, even this universe card almost reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune card, which is pretty funny. And we're also going to pull a card here from this high vibe card, which it talked about here. My high vibe thoughts create blah, blah, blah. Well, you get a high vibe card for your mental adventure here. So let's just give these a little shuffle and see what additional message the creator has for you about your mental adventure. But this is this examining and awareness as you look into your beliefs and your thoughts about yourself. Where did they come from, and what situation in your life have you created a story around that you can change the story, right? So for our Geminis, what else would you like them to know about their mental adventure, please? Okay, I feel like it's this one right here on top. There we go. You've got list of love, and I'll read that to you. Here it says, write a list of all the people who deeply love you. Think of all the people who deeply love you, and then feel the love. And it's interesting, when I started to read this, what I was hearing is, and understand the beliefs you have around external love. Because when you look at other people and go, who loves me and why, that really brings this beliefs right into your face, because you will also realize, how do I fear I could lose their love? Because when you connect to this higher love and see things from this higher perspective, and you dive deep within yourself, you will find that the external love, if you're depending on any of those things we talked about with the tower, relationships or situations or possessions and things, if you're using any of those to define your love, then you're going to be disappointed, because people change or pass away, situations never stay the same, and things break down, deteriorate, burn down, or are stolen. So they will eventually let you down. So it's all designed to turn us inward, to find this love inside, because when you're disappointed enough in the outside world, we eventually turn inward for that. Some of us are stubborn. I know I was in the stubborn crew, where I hung out trying to get all those expectations and meet 100% of those, up to the point of exhaustion and almost an emotional breakdown. I almost took my life once because of the disappointment that I felt in the outside world. But that was like this tower moment that triggered my life, that created this change, which towers are endings and new beginnings. You have the huge ending and new beginning of cycles too. So this is great for you. Really, trust me, it is great for you. I know you're like, oh my gosh. Then we're going to move into the cup suit last, which is, of course, the water element, represents our emotions. So this will be what the creator wants you to know about your emotional adventure in March around honoring yourself. Yeah, and this love too. What do you sacrifice to get the love in the outside world? The most amazing love that you're going to find is from within. That's the love you've been searching for. All right, and then Geminis. For our Geminis, what else would you like them to know? Or what would you like them to know about their emotional adventure during the month of March? So it's that one right there. And you've got the Three of Cups. So this is a beautiful emotion, celebration. And there is a special meaning for this card for me too, which this represents our higher posse of support on the other side, all those beings of unconditional love and light on the other side. So you've got this group that just loves you unconditionally, and that is your, the creator, of course, in spirit, but your guardian angels and your spirit guides, your loved ones who lived here and have gone to the other side, your ancestors and unicorns and fairies and whatever you believe those beings of unconditional love and light are. This is them making themselves known, going, you are loved. And they're like, this list of love, put us on that list, because we're the ones that will always love you without condition. There's nothing you can do to earn it, but nothing you can do to lose it either. You have 100% of it always from them. And I love this this is like the sun ray, and you've got the moon happening here. And like we do have, of course, a full moon happening in the month of March. And I really feel it's important for you to really look into the full moon energies. I do put out new moon and full moon readings for each month by zodiac sign. So I would really encourage you to look into that. And I'll talk about it at the end of the video too, how you can, of course, subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any of those, because I really feel this is a big message for you around that as well. And then let's take a look here at your shadow and see what they have to say about your emotions. Yeah, and you have the Empress. Beautiful, beautiful Empress here. And there is this, again, like a full moon going on up here. So some synchronicity here. But I love this because the Empress is Mother Nature. It is Mother Nurture, and there's this huge message not only about new birth, because she's pregnant here, you can see like a little fetus in there, but in the standard tarot she has bunny rabbits, and there's all this nature around, and it's about this overflowing abundance and everything unfolding. And so definitely with this death and rebirth happening here, this endings and new beginnings happening, but also so much about nurturing yourself. Again, coming back to this message of focus on you, not all everything going on in the outside world. You're in this womb, getting to know you, growing yourself, becoming aware of yourself. And so this is very much about that your shadow side telling you it is important for you to nurture yourself and focus in on you. You have permission. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from these little affirmation cards. Here's the unicorn I was talking about. And we're just going to see what the final message is from the creator here for you. Now, this can be a final message for your emotional adventure, but since it's the last card, we're going to allow it to be a wild card, to be whatever else the creator wants you to know about your month of March. So for our Geminis, what's your final message for them, please? Okay, I feel like it's this one right here. And you've got ups and downs. And I read that here. It says, I see life as an incredible ride, and I'm lucky to be on it. Yes, the ups and downs make me want to puke sometimes, but they're also what makes things fun and interesting. And when you look back, even puking on yourself makes for a good story. And this is a great card here to end. I'm going to put it here in the middle, because that represents like that Wheel of Fortune we were talking about, that ride that you're on. You're not going to fly off the tracks. You might puke a little bit as you're going through ups and downs and on these curves and, on this ride, but it happens for you, and it's on purpose for a purpose. So I love that this final card has a very lighthearted feel to it, and letting you know that your entire life is unfolding for you. It's not happening to you. And so you can transform all of this by really focusing in on you, connecting to the higher you, understanding who you really are, and stop comparing yourself to the rest of the world, because you are awesome. Right, I'm going to leave the reading there. As I mentioned earlier, I do also put out readings for monthly for each zodiac sign like these. I do weekly energy updates for each of the sign elements like fire signs, water signs, etc. I do full moon and new moon readings and a variety of others. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, then also click the subscribe button, then you'll be able to click on that notification bell and select the all option, which means you'll be notified of any of the new videos that come out on this channel, and that way you won't miss out. Also, doing those things helps share the love, because when you like a video or share a video or subscribe to a channel, it makes the YouTube algorithm absolutely giddy, and it wants to share these messages with others as well. So if you feel so inclined to do any of that, of course, I am very grateful for that, but never any pressure. Also, these are general readings. If you want to have a reading that is more specific, I do offer private readings. Not everyone on YouTube does, so I like to make sure you know that I do, and the details are in the description box below if you feel the need to do that. But again, no pressure to do any of that. It's just information. So as you're going throughout each and every second of every day, Geminis, just know that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and of course, I love you too. Have an amazing March. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon, and until then, you take care.